He chose not to have the surgery. He chose to rest and relax and hope it goes away. And then he ended.
We took a look at Gilmore, and if we got Gilmore, we win in the division. I feel like, you know what I mean? I feel like Stephon Gilmore.
Richard Rodgers. He's with our team over the last couple of years. But this is about our fourth time picking him up. What does that mean?
Yeah, welcome to another episode of Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I'm your host, Bird Gang 31. And today we have a very special guest, one of the GOATs in the building, my guy. You know, people have been wanting to see me get you on the show for a while, and I am so happy to have you here, Mr. RB from Philly Talk with R&B. How you doing today, my guy?
Hey, what's going on, bro? First and foremost, thank you so much for bringing me on, man. Appreciate it a lot. Love your work. Keep grinding. I also want to say that intro was really dope. That thing just got me fired up. I can't wait to chop up some Eagles, man. That just got me really excited. You know,
Yeah.
I'm pumped now. Let's go.
Yeah, shout out to Cool Cat Connors for hooking me up with that one, my guy. That's my dog over there. He hooked it up for me. So,
That
hey,
was
man,
fire.
I always like to start you off for the first time on here. Tell me, you know, what got you being an Eagles fan, you know, Eagles content creator? What got you started with this?
Yeah, man. Just being a passionate Eagles fan, you know, feeling like I have something to give, feeling like I want my opinion out there. And, you know, maybe it's just my insanity at times of just being an Eagles fan. Literally from the day I was born, I've been an Eagles fan. As we all say, we bleed green, right? I bleed my Philadelphia sports. It's just nonstop love. Sometimes it's a love-hate relationship, but damn, man, we love our Eagles, man. Eagles fans, I want to say, are honestly the most passionate fan base in the world. We rep them everywhere, anywhere you go. I mean, on game days you go in Philadelphia, people are repping green everywhere. It's crazy, man. Eagles fans are strong. We show up in opposing buildings. We're everywhere, man. So,
oh yeah, man, we represent everywhere, man. Like I said, I'm from Cali, and that's the only place I've actually really seen Eagles game. I haven't made it to Philly yet to see one. Hopefully this year I can change that some point of this season. But man, I went to like 5 or 6 in Cali, man, and even then, you know, there's been a lot of Eagles birds coming all the way down to Cali, man. We'd be thousands of them. I'm like, whoa, you guys all came down here to watch the Eagles play too? That is what's up, man. We definitely are strong and passionate with our birds, man. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. Preseason game 1's out of the way. What do you look forward to seeing in preseason 2, and how do you like the team so far?
Well, in the second let me just say, in the first preseason game, I was definitely impressed. In terms of the second preseason game tomorrow, I feel like I look forward to the same thing in every preseason game. I try not to look too much into it. I try not to take it to heart too much because I can't wait till week 1. But you know, I want to see the starters come in, have a good couple drives. I want to see Jalen Hurts get in his rhythm. And I don't know how long they're going to play. I know we only have 3 preseason games now. But I want a good quarter of football. You know what I mean? I want these guys to look polished, like they are in sync, good chemistry. Another touchdown would be really nice, but you know, we'll see what happens. In terms of the team so far, I'd say they've impressed me. Now, I live in this feeling of not fear, but more so just caution, because last year, you know, I bought into the hype train a lot. I was like, this team is going to be great. I picked us to win 11 games. You know, we know how that story ended. It was unfortunate. So I'm taking a bit more of the cautious side this year. Of course, I'm going to be fired up week 1, ready to go. But I'm not buying in to everything yet. I still have to see how we look week 1. I feel like camp's a different story than when, you know, it's the actual Sunday and we're getting ready to run out of the tunnel and we're getting ready to get fired up. I'm excited. But, you know, I just feel like we need our new identity to show this year. I feel like we have, you know, this is going to be a telling year. How is Nick Sirianni as a coach? How's Jalen Hurts as a quarterback? The previous regime, with the exception of Howie Roseman, is gone. So it's time, I would say, for a new turn in Eagles football. But so far, I love the energy of the guys, and I love the way just that everybody's been fired up. It's like a new taste of Philadelphia Eagles football. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, it seems like we're bringing back the old Philly swagger. You know what I'm saying? That old Philly toughness is coming out of this team this year. And like I was talking to Tone earlier, I was like, the difference is, a lot of the time, like that year that Carson got hurt, the team rallied around and, got a fire lit underneath them when Carson went down to push that run to the Super Bowl, right? And then you had the next season, it was like game 5 or 6, where we had our backs against the wall, underdogs, then we pushed forward to make the playoffs that year. This just seemed to be like the first year where we haven't even hit the first game. And, you already got reporters and everybody else got all these boys lit up. You know what I'm saying? They didn't disrespect our team so hard all off season, where guys are hungry to prove and make a statement this year. And I think that's going to be one of the biggest differences from what our record could have been this year and what I think the record's going to be this year. Now, like I said, my fandom, baby, is 17-0 until proven otherwise. Until proven otherwise, it's not realistic. But every game as a fan, you go into that game wanting to win. So 17-0 until proven otherwise. But my realistic side, I can see us winning double-digit wins. I think I had us at 12-5 this year, and I think that's really realistic considering the schedule that we play, and the division games shouldn't be. They're not going to be too tough, I don't believe.
Yeah. I think you're right. And one important thing this year for everybody to keep an eye out on is, I honestly think and hope, by the way, that we are the underdog in every game. I want everybody to shift their attention off us. I don't want anybody to talk about us. This year reminds me a lot of 2016. Before the Super Bowl year, they said we were going to be absolutely terrible. We ended up playing decent. Carson Wentz, Doug Peterson, new head coach, new quarterback. We ended up winning 7 games, and then we took the quantum leap, and we ended up winning the Super Bowl next year. That's my ideal year. Kind of figure out what pieces you have in terms of the young guys in place, and maybe this next offseason, and especially with the draft picks that we have coming up potentially, strike. In terms of the Eagles' record this year, I'm not ready to put my full prediction out yet. And one thing I will say is that it depends a lot on health. I don't know what it is, but the last 4 years have been absolutely brutal. It's gotten to a point that I've never even seen before. I'm talking about week 12, 4th string corners out there and 3rd string linemen, and it's come on, man. We've had a couple different injury staffs, athletic trainers, and all that. We got to stay healthy, man. But if we do stay healthy, it's crazy because I view us in a rebuilding type of mode. But at the same time, I can also see us competing for the division because our division stinks. Like you said, I'm not worried about anybody in this division at all. Dallas Cowboys should be the favorite. They are known as pretenders and chokers. Danny Dimes, a.k.a. Danny Pennies, he sucks, okay?
Danny Food Stamps over here, baby. We call him Danny.
There you go. Danny Food Stamps, taking even another step down. Yeah. And you can't tell me that Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to win a division. I just don't believe that at all. But, yeah, it's crazy to think that we could compete. I think the winner of this division finishes with about 8 or 9 wins. That's where I have it right now. I don't view any team in this division being too good, but I think the Eagles are going to be the underdog of the division, and I think that gives us an edge. And I do think we could make the playoffs. And even if we get anywhere near that, it's a success in my books, honestly.
For me, like I said, I'm really going off of not last year, because I think a lot of fans is pretty much predicating this team off of last year. I think that extra little, motivation kind of came at the end of last year, how when Jalen Hurts came into there and lit a fire under this team, even though we only won 1 of those games, possibly could have been 2 if we didn't sit them that Washington game. That's kind of was if we would have did those 4 games at the beginning of this year to start it off, then I could see the 8-9 game spectrum being more of a realistic thing. But since the fact that we did get them in, and we had all them young players play last year from all the injuries, and they actually by the end of the season start picking up pace and start playing a lot better. You had Driscoll, Herbert, all those guys, getting some good reps in. You can see the emergence of Quez last year at the end of the season in the Arizona game. You know, you seen Rager take punt returns to the house and start catching some balls at the end of the season last year. That I think this year, that's why I'm going so high in terms of saying, like, you know, because like I said, I take it back a year before because we've been a winning football organization for the last 15 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've had over 500 or better every single season. You know, so for me to think anything less than 500%, you know, 500 wins this year, to me, it's just like, I don't think if we hit 500, that would be a win in my book in terms of like this season being a success. You know, I know a lot of people say 5, 6, you know, 7 games is a win, but for me, I don't think so because that's not what we're used to as a football team as a whole. Like, we were used to winning, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's 7 losses or 6 losses or whatever, that's what we're usually used to doing. So I want us to be back on track. You know, like, I love the way Nick Sirianni's doing it. He's not naming Jalen the starter. You know why? Because he don't want Jalen to get a big hit and feel comfortable about his position moving into this season. You know what I'm saying? You're going to hold him out as long as possible. You know what I'm saying? Make him keep fighting for it. Let that hunger keep setting inside of him to let him know that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not handing you anything. You got to go out there and earn it. You know what I'm saying? Every penny of it. I like that he doesn't look at the jersey names in the back of the jersey. He doesn't care if you came in first round, second round, 7th pick, free agent, draft pick. He coaches you all just as hard, you know, just as much. He expects greatness out of everybody that's on this roster. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's not even going to be giving away nothing this whole preseason. He came out live and said that already. Like, you won't see any of my real plays really going on, you know, until we get to the season, because that is an advantage that I think we're going to have. Kind of like the Chip Kelly effect, you know what I'm saying? When Chip brought that new offense, you know, even though he ran up the scoreboard, you know, in that preseason year, you know what I'm saying? But it was a shocker for the league, and we got away with a lot of good wins, you know? And if Nick is going to come out here and play these new formations, new lineups, new pass plays, you know, bunch of screens, run the ball, you know, things that we haven't been accustomed to over the last couple of years. The reason why, you know, our team's kind of been going downhill. And, you know, with JG saying he's coming with new schemes, you know, we're going to be running 3-4 fronts, 4-3 fronts, you know, dime defenses, you know, special hybrid packages and stuff like that. And it's all going to be predicated off the other team, man. I think that is going to be the biggest part, the reason why we end up getting a couple of these extra wins that, you know, people are not really taking into account, because I think a lot of people are still stuck on that 4-game winning streak. Like, to me, that's a total, you know, like I said, our team had COVID last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, no one practiced. Everybody was hurt. You know what I'm saying? That just was not a normal season for us. So it's like hard for me to base anything off of that year.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, there's good points there. And I think that the success of the team this year really depends on Jalen Hurts, and really knowing whether he's going to lead this franchise for years or not. And I have confidence in him doing so. I will never agree with the pick. I still don't think it was justified and never will be. But I'm also a person to say, like, you have to give Jalen Hurts a chance. For people to come in and say that, you know, this guy's absolutely trash after 4 games where he was put into probably the worst situation you could ever be put into, especially as a rookie quarterback, even from the day he was drafted. It's not fair to him. It really is not. In terms of Nick Sirianni, I'm not going to lie. You know, I don't know yet. I love his energy. I love his attitude. Oh, that's all you can ask for when it comes to a coach. The thing that I'm worried about, and Eagles, and I'm not saying you, but Eagles fans that I've seen out there seem to be forgetting the terror that Howie Roseman has caused this franchise. That's what I'm worried about this year. I don't want Howie getting in the way. You know, you talked about all the great things that these new guys are going to do and kind of this attitude they're going to bring, like this new kind of mindset to the team. That's what I'm excited for. But what I don't want is Howie Roseman chirping in on game day and getting in the way. You know, I don't want a situation like last year where, in my opinion, it felt like Doug Peterson was going out to the press conference saying things that he didn't even believe himself that was coming from higher up. So I hope they relinquish and just let Nick Sirianni go. You know what I mean? I hope they let this guy fly and see what he can do, because I really do think we have a lot of young talent. I do. And I thought that we had a lot of young talent last year as well, but they were just never coached right. It was always, you know, bring Jason Peters back, who's 30 million years old, and play him over Jordan Mailata, even though Mailata's on fire. You know, it was bring Alshon Jeffrey back from an injury because he's getting paid $12 million, and play him over Travis Fulgham, who just had the best four game stretch in the entire NFL. So, you know, I just hope we go out there and let these guys fly. Fly, Eagles, fly. And if we do, honestly, like this team is going to win some games that they are not expected to, in my opinion.
Yeah, and like you said, like, I fully agree with you when you say that about Howie coming up and messing around. But I think he knows he's on a short leash. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, this is a contract year for Howie too. And as you've seen in the draft, I feel like the new coaching staff and the new personnel kind of took control of this draft this year. This wasn't just a pure Howie draft like normal. Because I don't think some of those picks Howie would have just made by himself. You know what I'm saying? I think he is listening to the ears in the room. You know what I'm saying, to help him out now on this last do or die little stretch here. No matter what, like I always said, Howie did 2 or 3 things right. He sucked at drafts. That's the one thing he don't do right out of 3. But in terms of picking free agents and structuring that money, now the guy's pretty good at that. You know what I'm saying? That we gotta all give him credit for that. You know what I'm saying? Some of these free agents this offseason, like a guy like Harris, you know what I'm saying? He was a former Pro Bowler 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like, and everybody had a down season last year, so I don't really look at last season for him too. Plus, they had their star linebackers out, over there in Minnesota. But then you brought Wilson in. You know what I'm saying? They said ever since Wilson been here, he's been the head of that defense. You know what I'm saying? Lining everybody up, getting everybody in position. So those are 2 key parts of our defense that we really needed to upgrade. You know what I'm saying? Bringing in Nelson on the contract-friendly deal. You know what I'm saying? Even though it is 1 year. But also drafting McPherson, who everybody was kind of down on. But I've been seeing this guy in practice. I think he's doing a pretty good job. You know what I'm saying? He's handling his own, and he's playing some good ball out there. It's going to take him. I'm glad we don't have to throw him into the fire right away. But I do look for him to get some PT this year, and I'll probably get some more as the season progresses on.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I'll never take away what Howie Roseman did in 2017. I always give respect where it's due. That's fine. I agree. Like every free agent move that he made in 2017 panned out unbelievably. And I hope the same for this year. We have some guys, like you said, on 1-year deals. I think they'll come in and really help these young guys out. But I feel like this year is really about finding where we are at moving forward. I feel like some vets could potentially be cut after the season, but I really feel like it's a make or break for some guys on this team. It's like, when Howie Roseman kind of constructed this thing in 2016, it was like, all right, here's our core, and now we're going to take this step forward. So if you're not in the plan, if you're not going to come out and make your name felt this season, like, you might be gone. I mean, that's just how it might be. We're trying to push going forward. We pretty much hit the reset button, but we still have some good young talent. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm never, any given Sunday. That's the saying. So you come out here. If I just want to see our guys playing hard, man. I want to see us giving energy. I felt like last year at times, I'm not going to say anybody gave up, but it almost felt at some times like nobody was on the same page. It was nauseating. It was literally hard to watch. Like I would have rather watched a team that was young and just didn't have any talent than what we saw last year, because there was all these expectations, and it's like everything just came crumpling at once, and it was just disappointing, man. So, I mean, I'm hoping for them to turn it around this year, definitely.
Catcher said, "Are we worried about Miles Sanders at all?" You can take this one.
Shout out to my guy, Philly, man. In terms of Miles Sanders, I'm actually the opposite of Miles Sanders in terms of Miles Sanders. I think he's going to have a huge year, but that depends on whether we're going to run the ball enough, because, in my opinion, Miles Sanders should be, really rested coming into this season. 2 years ago, this guy had 1,300 all-purpose yards. Miles Sanders was one of the best young backs in the game, and he was elevating. And last year, it really felt like at times we took Miles Sanders out of the game, not even the other team. It was like, why are you giving this guy 6 carries in the first 8 minutes of the game, and where did he go until the end of the third quarter? It's like, come on now. So I think Miles Sanders is going to be rested. I think he wasn't utilized enough. Now, the Philadelphia Eagles have kind of a history of, working these running backs up, and then they don't decide to pay them. So that's another question down the road. But I think Sanders could potentially surprise people this year. But what do you think on that?
Yes, man. Like you said before, last year I was one of those guys on that Miles Sanders train that said this is about to be the breakout season. I got tired of people saying Miles wasn't that good. I'm like, you guys don't obviously see the same guy that I see. So I see you give this guy the ball, he's going to do big things. You know what I'm saying? He was the only back to ever have 3 80-yard run touchdowns and 1 So once
It was amazing. Yeah.
that's amazing. Now imagine our record if we would have given the ball 15 to 20 times a game every game.
We lost about 4 games on not giving him the ball enough, at least.
Yes. And if that's 4 games. Now we're at 8 wins. Now we're in the playoffs last year. So it's just like a lot of the coaching was really flawed. They weren't developing people right, and they were like have such a big hit. I think ever since Doug won so early, he had a big hit on himself. Like, it was all me. It's all me. My offensive scheme is the only thing that works. Either you play it or you don't get the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can pass 60 times a game and win football games. This is the passing league. And I always say you cannot set up the pass with the pass. You know what I'm saying? You got to run to set up the pass. That's the only way it works in the league. You can't set up the pass with the pass unless you're throwing screen balls all the game long, to set up that deep ball too. But then that don't even work. You still, no matter what, got to run the ball. And I think this will be the year, because if we've seen in Nick Sirianni, Shane Steichen, they ran the ball in the places they came from. You know what I'm saying? They had good 2 and 3 hitter monsters where they come from. And I really believe that we're going to definitely get a lot of running going on this year. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to run the ball a lot. I just at least see, give them 15 to 20 carries. You know what I'm saying? Like 25 touches, so you could say 20 rushing and like at least 5 passes. Because I think with Gainwell now on the roster, we're going to have, Boston Scott, if he's still here on the roster, which I think he will be. Those are some other backs you can throw the ball to, too. You know what I'm saying? That take off some of the wear and tear off of Sanders. But, man, let this beast go. Like you said, he didn't even really play last year. I heard Sirianni say he knows what he got in Miles, so he probably won't see too much of him during this preseason to keep him healthy, especially since we got a 17-game season. But I think Miles Sanders is going to Pro Bowl this year. He's going to show everybody that he's a top 10 back easily. You know what I'm saying? Like, all that 27 talk, that's nonsense. That's nonsense. The guy's a beast, and I can't wait to see him do it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with you. It would not surprise me at all to see Miles Sanders go to the Pro Bowl. Like, I think he's that good. And another thing, in addition to last year that we just talked about, I felt like at times this whole running by committee thing really got overblown, and it just got out of hand. If Miles Sanders is running the ball and he's hot, just keep feeding him, man. Don't take him out, and don't put in Corey Clement for a couple snaps. Don't put in Jason Huntley for, like, in my opinion, people don't agree with this a lot, but I think Sanders could really be a 3-down back, even though I don't think we should use him that way, because I think, like you said, with the added game, you don't want to put too much wear and tear on Sanders. Mm-hmm. You look at, for example, a team like the Browns, right? They have a 2-headed monster, and look how they complemented each other that way. Mm-hmm. We're not going to have that. But let me tell you something. I love Boston Scott. The dude gets slept on so much. I mean, he's one of my favorite Eagles right now, because he's literally, it's like Darren Sproles left, and it's like watching Darren Sproles. And I'll never forget, every game we put in Boston Scott against the Giants, this man absolutely torches the Giants. But you cannot, go a game without using the guy. He can't have 2 carries the next game. Boston Scott's got to be used in this offense as a complimentary back. Give him some screens out of the backfield. I love Boston Scott. Gainwell's a monster, like you said. I think he'll be all right. But yeah, Sanders has to take the brunt, and you can't really hold this guy back, and you can't take him out when he's on fire. Like you said, I loved what you said. You got to let the run open up the pass. That's my motto as well. Like, why can't we be that type of team? Tell me why. We absolutely can. We have good tight ends. And what's the best way to take pressure off a young quarterback? Run the football. Run the football. Like,
with the talent that we have on the outside and our tight ends and stuff like that, if you're looking at, even if you want to say, we already know Quez, Devontae, and Rager are going to be your top 3. You know what I'm saying? Then you got Goddard and Ertz as your top 2 tight ends. You know what I'm saying? If you run the ball to the point where they have to bring 8 men in a box, it's a wrap, man. These guys can get open one-on-one. You're not going to be able to double-team anybody in that. In the secondary, it's not going to be able to double-team any of our skill position players. You won't be able to afford to. Because once you leave one of them open, one-on-one coverage, that's a wrap. They got the one-on-one coverage all day. You know what I'm saying? If you want to play soft and back up, guess what we're going to do? We're going to eat up the middle with Goddard and Rager coming in the slot, just tearing up the middle. If you want to try to stop the pass completely, guess what? We have run all over you all day long. So it's like I think this is the first time that people aren't understanding with our team. This is the first time we have all 3 levels unlocked like that. Supposedly, Like I said, we got to see it in the beginning of the season. We got to see it happen in fruition once this game starts. But from right now, as we see, this is the first time I can ever recall we having so much talent and speed on our offense. Diggy
Yep.
not even accounting for Jalen Hurts. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? He can run the ball whenever he wants to, too.
That's the next thing I was going to say. Like, let's not forget either that we are now in the age of football where, there's not many pocket passers left, not many lethal pocket passers, except for the OGs, obviously. But, Jalen Hurts, I mean, if you have Jalen Hurts in the gun and then you have Miles Sanders and you're misguiding the defense, a lot of misdirection. I mean, let me tell you something, man. You have the threat of Jalen Hurts running the football. Then you have the threat of Miles Sanders running the football. And, the way we're seeing guys like Quez Watkins run on the outside, our defense is really going to be able to send that much pressure at us? I don't know anymore. Maybe in the past, but
Yeah.
I mean, we are a lethal offense. Like, that's the kind of offense I view us being this year. We can explode at any time. I don't think we ever had that before, or I don't think our offense was designed to play that way. But I think we can, and I think we could play a lot faster now, and I'm excited for it.
And then throwing two of those backs in the backfield, Gainwell and Boston Scott and Miles Sanders, like having two of them doing options out of there. Our double RPOs and stuff like that into the pass. Remember when you see Nick Foles running it, what I'm saying? That was leaving people open. Now you got the threat because everybody knew Nick wasn't going to run the ball. What I'm saying? But it was still working for him. Imagine having Jalen, man, running to the outside off a double RPO fake. Someone's going to be wide open downfield, or he's going to run the ball and make a big play. Either way, it's a win for us. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just think the talent, like I said, the talent level is a lot different. And I think that's why I'm so optimistic about this team. Because when you're doing something that when you have the capabilities of doing something with this offense that you haven't been able to do in years prior, then, and it gives you nothing else but to be excited. You know what I'm saying?
You're exactly right. And it's funny how we're constantly talking about the offense. But it's funny, like, the most excited part of this team that I am excited about is actually the defense. Like, I'm actually really excited for once. Like, I actually feel confident about our secondary locking up opposing receivers. Like, I'm sorry, but people can hate me for this. The corners that we have had for the past 4 or 5 years, they make me throw up sometimes. Double move Mills, Rasul Douglas, those are not legit corners. But you have Darius Slay. And a lot of people got a bad notion from Slay last year. He lost a lot of 50-50 balls. He also went up against some of the toughest receivers in the league. By the way, when you have your defensive coordinator amping up the opposing receiver, he's probably going to have a pretty good day. But anyway, now you have Slay, and then you have a guy like Steven Nelson who doesn't have to be the top dog, but he's not any scrub. He's a great, just solid second guy. Plug him in there, and he's going to do his job. And then you got Anthony Harris, like you said, he was a Pro Bowl. I'm excited for once about this secondary. Like, if we can lock people up, I really think that's where our team's going to be predicated on this year. We have to come out every week and punch somebody in the mouth. When is the last time I saw that in an Eagles game? It's been a long time. I don't know why, but I just hope that we come out every game as the underdogs and we just make ourselves felt, our presence felt. That's what I'm hoping for. So,
oh yeah, man, and I see it happening, man. How you feel about some of the big news that's been coming up lately, like Kerryon passing waivers, so now he's on the IR. You think we'll be keeping him so once he is finally healthy, he can try to make another run, maybe be on a practice squad until he's ready to go? And how do you feel about Tyree Jackson going down?
Yeah, in terms of Kerryon, I don't really view him being on our roster for long this year. I feel like we have a plethora of backs, and like I said, I expect Sanders to take a really big leap. If he makes it, no problem with it. But he's just going to have to fight through injuries, and I feel like that's kind of been his MO lately. So we'll see how it goes with him. In terms of Jackson, I was excited about him. I really was, and who knows what's going to happen with Zach Ertz? That's another question mark. I just don't understand what they are doing about the Zach Ertz situation. The only thing I can really think is that they're going to try to build his value up and, hopefully find something at the end of the year. But Jackson to me is he's a monster. And he came out with a couple catches last week. He was really on a good projection. And now it's kind of like we'll have to wait and see. But I hope he heals quickly, and I hope he can make his way. sooner rather than later.
I will say that I am on that boat. I do think, everybody's like, no, for sure, Ertz is staying. You know what I'm saying? He looks so good out there. But I got to tell everybody, man, do you not remember the first day Ertz came back and he was on his knee and how he was standing there talking to him? How he was telling you, the way this pouting thing you're doing is not, coming out here running full 50. That's not going to give me what I want. And that's going to keep you on here. You're going to just watch me pay Goddard and you're going to ride this bench because I'm not letting you go nowhere unless I get what I want, what you want, what I want for you. And ever since then, you see them working late after practice, trying to be that good team player, trying to be the man back the way he was. And actually, he's been outshining Goddard in practice too, for a lot of the most part of practices. So I do think it's just building his stock back up, getting him back up there, making people believe that, yeah, he is going to be a strong part of this team. Because then if he's a strong part of the team, it's going to be more value for him to get traded. So I can see him moving by the trading deadline this year. I still think that is a strong possibility. I was even thinking that a good spot for him would be the Jags. I would love to have C.J. Henderson over here. You know what I'm saying? There you go. Have Goddard. Send us over TJ since he doesn't want to be there no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, the Jags are a nice young offense to have some weapons. Chenault, is on that team. Sharks on that team. He's a Pro Bowler. You got Robinson, the running back, who's doing pretty good over there. And then you got Sunshine throwing the rock. So, that'd be a perfect piece to help make that offense. Then he can be the star by himself. And it'll only be for a year unless he restructures. So it's not like he has to be stuck on the Jags for a long time. That can really pad up his stats too, being on that roster. You know what I'm saying? Like, that can give him enough stats and stuff so he can go to the Colts. Everybody thinks he wants to go there anyway. So, like, that give him enough stats where he can get a fat contract next year when he want to go to the Colts or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing about it is, like, I don't even think that Zach Ertz is best. Like, I don't think that he's just wasteless anymore. Like, I don't think that he's just done for his career. Like, I think he can still play some good football. It's just with the way that it went down last year and, coming out to the press conference and crying pretty much and it just felt like it was time. Zach Ertz will always be one of my favorite Eagles. He'll be one of the best Eagles to ever, go down in the books. Helped us win a championship, made a huge catch that nobody will ever forget. It just kind of felt like the time was done. So the fact that he's still here is really weird to me. But either they just didn't have anything there, and they probably thought back to about a year and a half ago when you could have got a king's ransom for Zach Ertz, and then they're probably sitting here on draft night thinking, are we going to give up or get a 5th round pick for this guy? Like, or can we just bring him back? Put him around the young guys. Like you said, it'll be a great presence, and try to build him up a little bit. And who knows? Maybe that'll give Dallas Goedert some motivation because I want to see a huge leap from Dallas Goedert, and it's almost like, come on, Dallas, you got to step up now. Like it's your time, buddy.
Yeah,
you didn't make this decision for no reason. Like it's your 2nd round pick. Step up. So who knows?
Yeah, I definitely think Goddard does need to step up for sure. Like he hasn't, like even though that last piece of the game, he had a couple of nice catches out there. You know what I'm saying? I like his fight, I like his energy. You know what I'm saying? But in terms of talent wise, you're faster, bigger, stronger, and a better blocker than Ertz. So you should be that much more dangerous and that much more effective right now. And I'm not seeing you. I want to see Goddard. I'd hope he's just saving all his juice for the regular season, basically, is what I'm thinking. Because, like I need to see more because, that's what's keeping everybody's, attention on Ertz. Because, like, okay, God, you're not really showing us that you're separating. Like, Ertz on the top of his game, elite. Top 3 tight end. You know what I'm saying? Like, straight up he was. I do think that injury to suffered, you know what I'm saying, for those couple of years kind of brought him back down to earth a little bit to make him more. But like you say, he's still a good tight end. And I definitely think that, there's a lot of football left in him. But I don't think he'll like being a backup tight end here. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think that's his cup of tea. I think he still thinks he's elite. So why not get him somewhere where he can go be elite somewhere? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to waste any more either one of their years. You know what I'm saying? Having them both here, you're not going to have either one of them with elite numbers to justify the money that they both going to want after the end of this season. You won't feel comfortable paying either one of these guys that top flight money if they only both got 40 or 50 catches each. You know what I'm saying? Like, 400 or 500 yards each. You know what I'm saying? That's going to lower their value as a whole, and it won't be worth it for either one of them.
Yeah, Zach Ertz is still trying to make a bag. Let's not forget that. He wanted that huge contract, and I understand why the Eagles were a bit hesitant when they have. But then again, it's almost like, why did you draft Dallas Goedert if you thought that Zach Ertz was still at that peak of his career? But that's a whole different story. But yeah, Zach Ertz is trying to get a bag. So I mean, I feel like he has to keep his posture up. He can't be that. I don't think he ever would be that type of player, but he can't. Where he comes out and he's slugging around and just this and that. I mean, he's not 38 years old yet. And he can still go out here and try to earn himself some money and maybe be in a better situation. So that's kind of where I view it with Zach Ertz. And, like you said, he might end up joining another team. If I'm the Eagles, I send him to the other conference. I don't want to play Zach Ertz because I could already see it happening like it does with Philly sports. We trade a guy away too early. And guess what? They come back to haunt us somehow. But I would not. Yeah, yeah. We learned that the hard way.
For touchdowns on us when we was a Redskin fan, man. I get so mad, man. So mad.
I knew it was. Every game, I knew it was coming too. Mm-hmm. There was just nothing we could do about it. And I could see the same thing happening with Ertz. He going for 100 yards against us, 12 catches. I could just see it happening. I really could.
But let's get back to that defensive side. Why are you liking Milton Williams and then our boy Josh Sweat?
Yeah, Milton's a dog, man. And, I wouldn't say I've been hard, but I've just been more skeptical. Like, they took this guy in the third round. A lot of people said it was a gamble, but he's out here hungry, man. He's out here working. And this goes to an even higher point in incorporating Josh Sweat as well. Like, we have some dogs on the defensive line. Like, every year I try to bait myself into thinking like, yo, this really could be like a top 3 defensive line every year. Like, we have the talent to do that. And, we got guys like Fletch, Fletch is one of the best in the game. Then you have Brandon Graham, who's a true pro, said that he wants to stay with the Eagles for the rest of his career. I love Brandon Graham just as a presence. Like, we have some dogs. And when it comes to Jonathan Gannon, like, I want to see some blitzes, man. I want to see pressure. That's what we thrive on. And I feel like it's been neglected the last couple years. So when it comes to all these young guys, I love the competition. I love them coming out here and fighting. And I'm expecting big things. Because even if Milton Williams or Josh Sweat, even if they don't play, week 1, guess what? They're going to find their way in. They're going to find their way in at some point. Yeah, maybe someone goes down or who knows, even after this year. We'll see what happens. But there's a name to be made out there. And I think our defensive line, if you win in the trenches, that's my thing. So if we're getting pressure on the opposing teams, and especially with our upgraded secondary, I think our defense can win some games for us.
Oh yeah, man. And like you said, like I know Josh is gonna play. I see him getting some double-digit sacks this year. Josh needed time to get his knee right, stay healthy consistently for more than a year. And I think as you've seen his knee get more healthier, even from last year, what he had like 7 sacks last year, I totally see him come out this year. And I think the competition with Barnett is bringing out the best in both of them, to the point where that is a nice right side. And then it's like a nice young right side. And then what's that? Yeah, that's the right side. And on the left side, you got Graham and Kerrigan, man. I know Kerrigan's been banged up with his thumb or whatever, but I ain't worried about that. By the time the season starts, he's a vet. He still knows how to play football. I don't think that's going to stop him from doing his thing. He also had like 6.5 sacks last year. So, man, I see a lot of sacks coming off that end, you know what I'm saying? With Hargraves and Cox putting that pressure up the middle, man, you're going to run right into a train, man. And there's going to be a lot of turnovers there, man. How you feeling about our linebacker core? I know we got Wilson and Singleton probably going to be your 2 starters. But, are you looking at TJ Edwards being that third guy when we run the 4-3? Or do you think Davion and Bradley should come in and pick up that spot?
I think, like you said, we're probably going to go with Wilson and Singleton. I'm not convinced on the linebacker core just yet because I want to see it in action. I feel like, linebacker has been a need for a long time. That's been really our most desired need, in my opinion, that we never address. So I'm hoping that these guys can come in and hold it down. Davion Taylor was making names for himself in camp so far. I know he'll at least be in on special teams, and we'll see how we go from there. But let's not forget he was a 3rd-round pick. Sean Bradley's tough. I just hope everybody is able to at least get their run and fight for their own. You know what I mean? I don't want to see two of these guys go down and then other guys aren't prepared. Our linebacker core is going to have to be really good, especially with the rest of our defense picking up. I would probably go with Singleton and Wilson, but I think everybody's going to get their shot at it. I really do, especially with this year where we're at. It's a dog eat dog type of defense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I definitely want to see Taylor come back. I don't know if he's back yet, but I don't think he's back yet from his injury. But I want to see him, and I want to see Bradley play a lot more this preseason. Because he did do some good things in that first one. I definitely want to see him play a little bit better this time. And another guy, Kobe Stevens. I want to see him come out, show up and show out. You know what I'm saying? Time for him to come out here, once he gets back from injury and show that he deserves a roster spot this year. So, we're going to do a lot of exotic things. I think some players are going to be package-based. You know what I'm saying? Certain formations, They're going to have their roles there. Like you said, they're going to all be on special teams. And, man, like I said, they're young, they're fast, they're athletic. They definitely have, chances to make big plays, and I hope they can get out there and make them.
Yeah, absolutely. And Gennard Avery's an interesting one as well. Shout out to my guy, Philly Mike. Gennard Avery's an interesting one as well, I really don't know what his role is going to be. I really don't. I feel like he's a bit of a hybrid, you can bring him up on the line. I feel like you can push him back a little bit. I want guys that are versatile on defense, I don't want guys that are just close-minded and just one-dimensional. We got to be a quick defense. We got to be all over the field. That's what I'm looking for. That's what a guy like Stevens could bring, like you said. But overall, our defense, at least on paper, is looking really good in my opinion. And back to the one person you said, Derek Barnett. It's a make-or-break year for Derek Barnett. If he doesn't produce this year, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up going this year. Because, you got to step up and produce. And I expect other people to do that as well. So we'll see, man. We'll see.
Yeah, man. It's going to be nice, man. It's going to be nice to see a new, fresh team. Like you said, you want to see the Blitzen. I believe the Blitzen's coming back, about to be Blitzburg again out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like the old Jim Schwartz style defense is coming back. And what you seen what our line just by itself was doing, the last couple of years with Schwartz, since he didn't like the blitz at all. Imagine putting the blitz into the fold. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's too much pressure. That's gonna be hard to score points against. You know what I'm saying? Like, and he already said it too. Like I said, he's not blitzing. That first preseason game, he ran a standard 4-3 the whole game. No matter if it was first, second, or third team out there, he said, nope, I'm sticking to my guns. We're going to just see one-on-one battles. I think that's what we need to be watching for this year. And this preseason, it's just straight one-on-one battles. Can one guy beat the next guy in front of him, And I'm fine with that, you know what I'm saying? Because that shows talent, you know what I'm saying? Like, that showed talent last week with the starters. They kept the Pittsburgh starters scoreless once our first two teams, first and second thing was in, and we scored on their first team defense 14 points or 13 points. So, that kind of stuff I want to see continue to happen. Like you said, a quarter, hopefully a half, because like I said, the old school, last year would have been you're playing to the third quarter in the third preseason game. So at least we need to make it at halftime. I understand if Jalen in the offense, they start scoring a lot of points in the first two quarters, then yes. Take them out. They prove your point, basically. But if it's one of them things where they're kind of struggling at first and they're kind of getting their groove as the game goes along, we need to see them go to a half. Because you need that extended play anyway before you go into a full game in a regular season. And you're not going to do that in the third preseason game, So everybody's probably going to be sitting that game. So that's what I definitely want to see.
I agree. It's definitely important, especially with a young quarterback, You want to get your guy into a rhythm. You don't want him to play a couple drives and then you pull him off the field and then week one comes and, you're throwing him into the fire. So I hope we do see a half of football. And like you said, last week was like really good. We played a really solid quarter of football. We scored the ball. We held them on defense. And just everybody seemed intact. Like everybody was fired up and I loved it. So I'm looking for more of that.
That was another big thing that we had a lot of last year was penalties. And that was a clean first couple with the first team and first and second team playing football. You didn't see no penalties. You weren't seeing mistakes really made there. So, like you said, let's continue it on to the next, the next preseason. And like I said, I'm not sure how much they're going to be playing, if they're playing at all that third preseason. Do you want to see Miles play? Do you want to see Devontae play those guys like that? Or do you think that the practice will be good enough especially since we're doing joint practices the next 2 weeks. I think that'll be enough for him to keep him fresh for the regular season.
I definitely think Miles will be all right. I want to see Devontae out there a little bit. I don't know why. I'm just really excited to see this guy go out there and snag some footballs. I think Devontae is going to have a great year. I really do, and I'm praying that he stays healthy because, we don't need any more injuries. We need him to come back, be ready to go. Don't want anything lingering. I think Devontae honestly might be in line for Rookie of the Year. Like, I think he's that special.
Yeah.
I think he's that special. And I don't know. I just believe in him. Like, there's just something about the kid. Like, he just looks like he's ready to go out there week one and catch a couple touchdowns. So I hope we at least get him to some reps. But if he doesn't, like, am I going to sweat it? No. No. I mean, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Nice. Yeah. I definitely like you said, maybe 2 series. Just to get him out there, get his feet wet, just see the separation against somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I heard all 3 of the boys been torturing C.J. Jackson over there, and so like all 3 of them torturing. I want to see that on TV. Let's put it on the film, my guy. Torture the guy out there because what they say he was 49th overall on the top 100.
Yeah, the top 100. Yeah, that's funny. And damn, I'll tell you, man, Quez Watkins is looking like a diamond in the rough, a gem out of nowhere. We knew about him last year, but he came out of college a bit early, getting his feet wet, and then the whole just the way like everything happened last year, like I said, was just like, I don't know, just let the salty taste in your mouth. But now that he's got his feet under him, I'm excited. I love having a deep threat like that can just I mean, when I saw Quez catch that ball last week and he just put on the jets, he just took off. Like that's was just
Tyreek Hill speed.
That was, and that's I said the same thing. Like it literally looked like Tyreek Hill. Like it's been a while since I saw something like that with the Eagles. In terms of like just vertical speed, point blank after catching the ball, that was special. I'm excited.
Yeah, then having Devontae, who's not a slow guy himself, like that guy's fast too. So when you start worried about Quez going deep, man, you're gonna get those guys looking back at Quez and Devontae underneath. And when he get the ball, he can do the same thing. He can pull away from you and score that touchdown. Reagan can do the same thing. They all got that speed, that next gear speed. That like I said, like I honestly think we got the best trio. I can't think of an got 3 faster, high upside type receivers out there just as good. You know what I'm saying? You can say Dallas, but Amari kind of on the down end of his career. He was checking himself out of games last year. You know what I'm saying? Like CD Lamb's good, yes, but I think he doesn't have the speed that these 3 guys got. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be a good possession receiver. He's gonna have himself a good career, but I don't think he got this elite speed that we have over here. And then no one else. Like I'm not the Scary Terry, and that's Samuels. Come on now, that's not close. You know what I'm saying? And guys are even close. Then even when you look around the league, not even the Chiefs anymore. Because they got rid of Sammy Watkins. So what? Tyreek, Hartman, and Pringle. I don't see that being that scary either anymore. So it's gonna be hard to block these guys. That's for sure this year.
We got a squad, man, and 2 things that I need to see that I feel like we haven't in a while, but I really am hoping for. 1, catching the damn football. And that's why I'm excited for Devontae even more because this dude can catch the ball. You know what I mean? I'm not going to name other receivers on this team, but it's been excruciating, having a wide open 35-yard pass down the sideline, drop.
Hightower.
Drop. I mean, there you go. Hightower. Don't even get me started with J-Jaw. I mean,
here you go. Terrible. I need your opinion. J-Jaw making the team or not? We had a huge debate about this one the other day, and there's still some people out there that think J-Jaw needs another chance. How do you feel about J-Jaw?
Is he making the team? There's very, very little chance that he does. I hope he doesn't. I mean, the guy's just not an NFL receiver. He just isn't, and it'll be one. I mean, we've invested so much in wide receivers, okay, and now we finally seem to have something there. So it's time to forget about J-Jaw. It really is. I mean, I'm sorry. Right. I don't care. And don't tell me like, oh, he had this huge play in camp. Remember last year when they said he had like 5 huge plays in camp, and then what happened in the regular season? I mean,
he's a good run blocker. I give him that. but that's
Yeah.
not your job. You're a
No, it's not.
receiver. Your job is to catch the ball. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, and get open. And he don't ever have any separation.
No,
You
he
know,
doesn't.
he doesn't really do anything when he does catch the ball. It'd be like a 10-yard hook or something. You might catch it and be tackled right there and then. So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm done with the J Jaw experiment.
No,
Hey,
it's over.
if you light it up on some other team, hey, best of wishes to you. Whatever. But I'm done with the J Jaw experience. I think, and then I was trying to think who would you even get rid of to keep him on the roster. Because we already got 3 locked in for sure. And then giving Fulgham being your 4th, because they're gonna give Fulgham some more another chance. So that's 4, and they either we're keeping 5, maybe 6 receivers. So
Yeah. What do you think about potentially getting like a free agent wide receiver? Because I think it would do us well. Maybe like a vet. I'm not sure exactly who's out there at this point. Because guys get cut and signed and all that. But I feel like a good solid receiver, just a guy that's been in the league, would do some good for this squad. That's my opinion. Get J-Jaw out of here and get a guy like that, because Quez, Jalen are all
vet out
first,
there,
second year guys.
one vet, and there's only
One
one.
vet.
There's only one guy that I think will be worth it to me. In my opinion, and that's Larry Fitzgerald. Larry's a constant pro vet. He's been in the league for a long time. That's one thing you ain't got to worry about Larry not doing is catching the ball.
Mm-hmm.
He ain't getting open. He's never been the fastest guy, but he still got speed at his older age. He had a decent season last year. I understand them getting AJ Green and Hopkins. They're doing a different thing out there with Kirk.
Yeah.
I think Larry for a year or two would be a great addition to our team. You know what I'm saying? That'd be a sure, reliable third down receiver you can throw in the game. He'll pick you up a first down, and he can score a touchdown still. Like, he's not that old to a point where he's garbage. So,
Yeah. And just the presence to be there,
And he's one of the best receivers ever.
Yep.
Like, for real. Like, you want to look at it, he's been in Arizona for how many years? Like 12 or something like that. And he's been dominant for a lot of years. So that's the only one. I don't want no Golden Tate. I'm not in the Golden Tate field. We already tried the Golden experience, and that was horrible. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not into him, and I don't really know any other receiver that would be beneficial, like to take away someone that we already have on the team spot. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To them. So but yeah, like you said, a veteran like him, and then maybe keep him in Ward or keep him in Hightower if Hightower can learn how to catch the ball. And that's my only gripe with Hightower. He gets open. He gets open all the time. The getting open part doesn't seem to be a problem with this guy. He gets open. He just does not catch the ball, and that's the most frustrating thing ever. Like, how you can be a receiver, get paid millions of dollars to catch and can't catch.
Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Like, that's why I'm so excited about Devontae, because I feel like we finally have a guy. Like, it doesn't matter if it's above him, below him, to the side, fading out of bounds. Like, I trust Devontae to snag the ball no matter what. And yeah, like I was saying, we need guys to catch the ball. And the other thing I really want to see is guys that can tackle. I mean, I don't want to see any more missed tackles. You know what I mean? We tackle at the feet, bring them down. No more highlight plays where, a team breaks a tackle and runs for 35 yards. I don't want that, get back to the fundamentals. If we do those two things, I'm happy. Catch the ball and make your tackles.
And make that tackle, man. That's true. I was so tired of seeing these guys getting bounced off. Tackle, nope, no tackle. He's still up. He's still running. Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, they're trying to tackle him at the shoulders. You know what I mean? You can't. These are NFL players. Bring them down by the legs. Come on, man.
They teach you that in like Pop Warner.
I would think so, right?
They teach you that in Pop Warner, man.
That's what I'm saying, man. And hope, but now I trust in our guys now, so I'm excited for that.
Well, what I like to do, what up, Philly girl? How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. What I like to do towards the end here, I like the person that comes on when it's your first time to give me your all-time Eagles team. This can be from your generation of watching, or it can be, you can just add any team ever that played with the Eagles. Up to you how you want to do it. There's no wrong answers. There's no right answers. This is, they're all good Eagle players anyway, so there's always going to be a right answer. So, I usually break it down. You start out with like 2 quarterbacks, who will be your starter and who will be your backup.
So I'm constructing a team technically.
Yeah, so we gotta go. We're gonna go offense and defense. We're starting with the offense.
Ooh. All right. So quarterback, so it's going to be hard because I have some bias being younger growing up. But I mean, my guy growing up was McNabb. Like I watched McNabb, that was my guy.
That's fine.
So I guess McNabb would be my starter, and just for the heck of it, Nick Foles would be my backup because you know what he does as a backup.
All right.
So I got to go Nick Foles as my backup just in case McNabb goes down. You know what I mean?
That's been a trio before. And let's go with 3 running backs.
3 running backs. Number 1 for me has to be Brian Westbrook. My guy B West. Number 2 has to be Shady.
Nice.
And man, there's a lot of good options. I guess if I had to go number 3, I would say Ricky Waters.
Yes. Finally. See, that's why I love doing this, because all the time you get someone new, that break the list, that get on the roster. So, yes, I'm glad to hear someone finally say Ricky Flowing Waters. Oh, my God.
He would be higher up if I was a little bit older, but he's on my list.
That's, because like once you really put him on, there's not really a depth chart. This is just a 3.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me 2 tight ends.
I got to be typical here. I got to go my guy Brent Selleck, and I got to go with Zach Ertz, man. Just, Brent's a true pro, and so is Zach.
Did you see Chad Lewis ever?
I have seen him, not with my own 2 eyes, but, I got it.
Those are good. Give me 4 receivers.
Oof, 4 receivers. So, number 1, my favorite all-time Eagles wide receiver has got to be D-Jax.
D-Jax, my guy.
He's my guy, man. And, I mean, I'm not going by, the best receivers. I'm just going by the guys that I like. So D-Jax has to be on there. Definitely Jeremy Macklin.
Mm-hmm.
Macklin's my guy. I mean, true pro.
Yes, he is. It was good. Last 1,000-yard receiver.
Yep. Yeah. It feels like, how long's it been? Like, how many?
It's been a long time since Jeremy Macklin been on our team, my guy. Yeah.
Let me think who else. Man, I'm thinking about all the guys over the years. Obviously, T.O. I'll have to throw T.O. on there.
Okay.
I did watch T.O. And then, honestly, the last guy I'm gonna go with, just a bit of I doubt anybody's ever picked him, but Jason Avant, a guy that could always come out and catch the ball. He was a good pro.
I don't know if Jason. This is his first time around. For some reason, I think Bobby Taylor, when he was on the show, he had Jason Avant, or Corey Simon when they had one of those players. I think one of those guys might have said him. But hey, I don't remember. I have to rewatch those episodes. So yes, we're gonna say right now.
I'm gonna go with Avant because
on the list, baby. Yeah, he was a beast, man. He's very underrated. Like he did all the dirty work.
Underrated. Yes, he did.
And like he was making all the blocks. He was doing all the third down catching. Over the middle, taking all the hits in the middle of the field. Man, Avant was a beast.
He was catching the ball if you threw it in his direction. So
let's go. Who's gonna be on your starting offensive line?
Let's see. Center got to be Kelsey.
Yes.
Left tackle, I guess I'll go with Jason Peters.
In his prime, right?
It's not the Jason Peters of the last 4 years, but I'll tell you that. I call him Penalty Peters because he, 4 penalties a game. But man, let me think. Right tackle, I guess I'll go with my guy Lane for right tackle.
Lane, keep him there.
She said, how did I pick the reception leader? Because I'm going my generation. You know what I mean?
LSG. Let him pick his own team. So we got 2 guards.
Yeah, I'm thinking, man. Because I feel like I feel like guards come and go. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm going to have to get back to you on the guards.
I'll throw a couple of them out there. Maybe I'll ring a bell for you. Because I think Runyon played tackle and guard.
I was going to say Runyon, but I thought he was a tackle.
He was tackle too, but I always knew him for guard at first, and then he was tackle. I think that's how it worked. So
yeah, I was going to say Runyon, but I just thought he was mainly a tackle.
Runyon. Sean Andrews, Evan Mathis, Todd Herman, Jeremy Marbury, I think that was his name.
Yeah.
Those are some.
I liked Evan Mathis in his day, and then he went on and won a lot more games. But I'll go with Evan Mathis.
Evan Mathis. And do you gonna use Ryan?
Yeah, I'll use Runyon since he's not. Since you said he was guard as well. But,
yeah. Okay. So now let's go to the other side of the ball. Give me 4 defensive linemen that's making that team.
Well, again, I'm going to be biased in my days so far. I'm going to go with Fletch. I'm going to go with BG. I'm going to go with Reggie White. And I picked 2 DEs. Who am I? I'm forgetting somebody right now, and I don't want to disrespect them, but you ever had a name
right there in your tongue?
Yeah. Reggie White, BG, Fletch, and I'm drawing a blank. But if it comes back to me, I'll let you know.
Is this player old school or new school? Are you talking about an old school player? Because most people would say Jerome Brown. If you're talking about old school.
It wasn't Jerome Brown.
If you're talking about new school, for what, defensive tackle? We got Corey Simon. You got who else is really good at defensive tackle? Fletcher Cost, Corey Simon. Who's the era?
I forget.
Corral Buckhalter. Buckhalter was good at DT.
I'll go with Jerome Brown. Screw it, because he's better than who I was trying to think of.
Let's go 3 linebacker.
Oh, great. Trot is my guy.
Yeah, always. The X-Men, baby. Yeah.
I honestly don't even like to put anybody else up there with him, because to me, he was that good. Like, Trot is one of my favorite Eagles, maybe ever, honestly. Like, if we had to do like a top 5 list, like he might be on there. Like, I love Trot. Other than Trot, let's see. I'm thinking about, what was the guy's name on the Super Bowl team?
The one we went, the one or the one we didn't win?
The one we won.
Nigel Bradley?
Yeah. No, not him. I don't know why. I like the other guy. Kendricks.
Oh yeah, Michael Kendricks.
I liked his swagger a lot.
Man,
I feel like he was underrated, and I feel like we got rid of him way too quickly.
His brother was better than him, but
yeah, I know. But hey, we ended up beating his brother, so I'll take it.
Yeah, that's true. That's another one that just made the first time made the list. I like that. That's
Kendrick. Yeah, I'm trying to think outside the box here a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Let me think.
You got guys like D'Amico Ryans. You got guys like Stephen Bradley.
D'Amico is one of my favorites too. I like D'Amico. I'll go with D'Amico just because I watched him way too much growing up. But that nobody will ever be like Trot, in my opinion.
No one. Trot.
I say this constantly. Like,
I feel like we need someone to lay the hammer like that.
We need it, and I've been saying this for years. Like, we have not had that toughness since we had Jeremiah Trotter. Like, I feel like he's just one of the goats. Like,
I guess Trent Cole was considered a linebacker. I always consider him a DN, but
yeah, I thought he was a DE.
Yeah,
he's see. This is the thing. I always forget like people, but when I see a list like in front of me, I'm like that guy. You know. Yeah. But,
let's go 3 cornerbacks.
3 corners. Well, Asante's up there on the screen. He was my favorite growing up. What's his name? Drawing a blank on the name again.
Lito.
Eric Allen.
Yeah.
And Lito, like you just said.
Lito Shepard.
Yep.
Yeah, we had a lot of good cornerbacks back in the day, man.
We had way too many.
Sheldon Brown, Lito Shepard, Troy Vincent, Bobby Taylor, Eric Allen, Al Harris.
Yep.
We had some studs. I wish we.
I miss those days.
That's why I'm hoping we're kind of building that way back into this year. Because Nelson might be a 1-year plan, but just think about it. Like, we can even get like a guy if we were to do that trade with C.J. Henderson. He's young enough to get him in the mode now, so by next year he'll be
Mhm.
able to play some really good ball. He was a high draft pick, and then
Yeah.
draft another stud out of the first round next year. You know what I'm saying? We can get back to that mode of having some good secondary, man. That's one of the
Yeah.
big reasons why we haven't won as many games too. It's
Yeah,
just,
we need it. I'll tell you. And it's funny. I have a list of my worst corners of all time for the Eagles because that's what I feel like. It's just. I mean, I could name those off the top of my head. Like it's just. There's been way too many years. I'll say that.
yeah.
Yeah, it just brings up bad memories.
And like, okay, so now you got this. How this one works: two safeties, but if they're the two that I think they are, you have to go three because everybody picks those two. Well, we'll let you go first and pick them first, and I'll let you know if you get the bonus one.
Well, we all know the one, B-Doc.
B-Dog's always on the list. Boom.
He was the greatest. He was the greatest. One of the greatest Eagles of all time. I still have my B-Doc jersey.
Nice.
I mean, he was just. Who's the other guy I'm not thinking of right now? I can't come up with it right now. I'm drawing a blank.
For safeties,
Yeah.
School wise, you got Quentin McHale, you got Steve Atwater, you got Michael Lewis, you got what's his guy? Malcolm Jenkins, you got McLeod.
Yeah. Wait, so am I picking like free safety versus strong safety or just safeties in general?
Safety in general.
Well, if I'm picking safety in general, I'm going with Malcolm because I feel like Malcolm was one of the best free agent signings ever in Philadelphia. Like straight up, I feel like he was the leader of that defense and the heart of our defense. And the guy never even missed a snap. So
Yeah, well, that's usually the two that everybody picks. But I'll let you slide since you were already, trying to.
I needed a refresher of like I just need the names. You know what I mean? But yeah, Malcolm's my guy. He is.
Then obviously kicker will be Akers.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Punter.
Do I go with Durag Donnie?
There you go, Donnie Jones, my guy.
Durag Donnie.
I like him. Some people got Cam Johnston or whatever his name is, Cam, but Donnie Jones was a man back in the day.
Durag Donnie. I feel like he was with us forever. Like
he was. Our punters usually stay for a long time. That's I was even surprised we let go of Cam last year because usually he'd be here a lot longer. But they've been good. They've been good. I hope Elliott can bounce back all the money we give him and turn out to be one of our best kickers of all time.
We're gonna need him to, man, because I don't know what it is with Jake Elliott, but like, this man will nail a 52-yard field goal and then he'll miss a 27-yarder, and it's just like,
how?
How
you do that, man? How do you?
I don't get it, man.
But hey, man, that's an awesome team. I'm guaranteeing that team wins some games there. My guy, we had them put together. And
definitely. Who are you going with in terms of coach?
Oh yeah, coach. Well, everybody. For me, it's easy. Big Red.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Big Red's definitely the coach. The coach, all Eagles coach forever. One person that probably had a chance, but he's gone already. So the Dougie P because he won the Super Bowl.
Yep.
But that one Super Bowl does not give me enough love to the point where he can take over. Big Reds, it's hard for me to ever root against him. The only time I root against him is when he's going against us. Other than that, I hope he wins. When I've been watching highlights every week, I'm like, let's see Big Red win. If it's a close game, I want to see Kansas City win it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's like my, my second team now. Now that Big Red's over there, I would love to somehow, some way, by the time it's all said and done, for him to come back again if we need him to come back again. Coach back. Can you imagine that? Like maybe like 10 years from now.
That'd be something. Yeah, if he's still coaching and stuff.
And he comes back, we need a coach. And like, Big Red leaves Kansas City to come back.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. You give him a quarterback, man, he's gonna fly. Like, it doesn't matter how, what year it is, honestly. I just can't believe the situation that kind of, result like the situation he ended up in was crazy, but
And there's a lot of personal stuff too going on at that time for Big Red. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of feel like it was a little premature. At the same time, it was like one of our most losing seasons ever. At the time. So it's like, I don't really feel like it was justifiable. But it is what it is. It's a business at the end of the day, and they're gonna do whatever they want to. I think I was there that last game in New York. I was there. I think we got beat by the Giants. We got our butts kicked by Giants like 2 days after New Year's. I was in New York for New Year's that year, and my buddy was a Giants fan, so we went to that game. And yeah, man, that's horrible. It's horrible. Because not only did you have to watch your team lose to the garbage Giants, but it was negative 14 degrees out there. That 100 times worse.
Dude.
I was getting sick in the stands, man. Four pairs of pants on, 3 jackets. Like, oh my God, how do you guys do this, man? And that's another thing. They're like, hey, you gotta realize you come to Philly, it's gonna be cold. I'm like, I know, that's one of the biggest downsides to do it. But I think it'll be worth it for a year. Like I said, I'll try it out for a year, and hopefully we will do it next year. So
yeah, definitely, man. I mean, you're not lying though. Those Eagles games are intense. Tell you that. I mean, you go to a Philly sports event, it's not like any other sports event.
And I would think too, like, have you been, besides going to the game, what would be another good place to watch the game if you like didn't actually go to the game? I know tailgating would probably be good at the game. Do they tailgate throughout the whole game? You know what I'm saying? Tailgating, so that might be cool. But what other places like downtown or something like that where all Philly fans go to?
I mean, I think the best place would be Xfinity Live. Like, you got tons of TVs. I mean, just tons of fans just going nuts. It's like smack in the middle right there. That's the best for me. Like, you just get the vibe of Philadelphia. Like, the place is roaring. Like, that's my favorite place to go. But
no, I heard about that one too, the Infinity Live. But isn't there like no local pubs or something like that? Did they got any Eagle pubs out there? That's like
they have a few I've seen, but everybody just likes to be around everybody else. Like everybody loves that vibe, whether they're tailgating or just roaming down the streets. Like, I mean, everybody loves it. So but yeah, anywhere. I'm telling you, like on game day Sunday in Philadelphia, like anywhere you go, it's like the entire city just molds together for Philadelphia Eagles. Like it's crazy, man. It is. You go into a regular store, someone's gonna say, "Yo, you got an Eagle shirt? What's up?" Like today, it's crazy. It really is.
Hey man, that's awesome, man. I can't wait to experience it myself. It's gonna have, like I said, this year. It's gonna have manifestation right here, buddy. It's gonna happen. One home game this year for sure. I'm gonna get
definitely,
out, man. It's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna hit everybody up. Hey guys, I'm here. Let's go. Let's go,
there you
guys. Well, hey, thanks again for coming on the show with me today. It was always a pleasure. Thanks for taking the time out to be on here. Let everybody know, even though I know they all know who you are, but let them know where they can find you at, my guy.
Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Shout out to you for bringing me on. Keep on working hard, man. Appreciate your channel. You guys can find me, Philly Take with RB, on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you watch your stuff. But most importantly, YouTube, because that's where we have a lot of fun chopping it up, man. No doubt.
Heck yeah, man. And thank you guys. Like I said, thanks to the 16 that's in the chat. Much love to you guys. Please hit that like and subscribe if you have not subscribed to my content already. We are growing, and every like counts to help give my content out to other people. Thanks for joining us today. We have some more shows for you tomorrow. Like I always say, fly, Eagles, fly. Until next time, this was Bird Gang Nation Sports Talk. I am your host, Bird Gang 31, and I am out. Peace.
He chose not to have the surgery. He chose to rest and relax and hope it goes away. And then he ended.
We took a look at Gilmore, and if we got Gilmore, we win the division. I feel like, I feel like Stephon Gilmore.
Richard Rodgers. He's with our team over the last couple of years. But this is about our 4th time picking him up. What does that mean?